Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse here on Friday. It is the 21st of February, 2025. Gonna look the stakes action on the program for Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter, Horse Racing Kit 5, for more selections for race courses around the world. And join me tomorrow for my Saudi Cup preview and also Sunday for my Rebel preview. An excellent weekend of racing, so I hope you join me for that. But we're gonna look at the stakes action here from Meydan. Races 2, 4, 5, and 7. So quite a few races to look at. The second race from Meydan, it is the Bastakiya Stakes. It's for 3-year-olds here, this listed race. We have a field of 17 horses, or excuse me, 16 horses entered to go 1,900 meters or mile 3/16 on the dirt course. As a top selection, I'm going to go with the number 15 horse, Royal Flavor. 15-5-6 for me in the TriCash trifecta. 15-5-6 TriCash trifecta. Top selection of 15 horse Royal Flavor. This 3-year-old colt by Hardspun. Simon Ned Christopher trains this one. William Buick gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently on the 24th of January locally on the locally a mile and local group 3, and he finished third by half a length that day, and he sat back early, in a very wide trip. He moved a little bit late. He needs something more, but I didn't think he ran half bad. Hard spun horse, his, offspring really like to go longer trip. This horse is finally going to get it today. He's drawn barrier number 5, which is very good for him. I think around the 2 turns for the first time, he's going to find a trip to win. He's proven he can run decently on dirt. He's still a main here, but he's run, in his dirt debut 2 back, he ran terrifically, 1,600 meters in in a conditions race or in a handicap locally, and he finished second by 2.5 lengths that day. And again, he was with them early on, getting some good dirt in his face. The winner just kind of flew off clear, but again, got down the race course well. Not the best, not a bad race after all said and done. The race prior, though, itself, right before Christmas, wasn't a great race. 1,600 meters in a novice race. He didn't get out of the gate so clearly, which wasn't a good thing for him. He just was never into it. It wasn't his day to win. I think refreshing here, finally around 2 turns, he can find a trip to the winner's enclosure. I'm going to use him on the ticket. I think the 5-horse Galactic Star for Bubat Shamir and Richard Mullen to win also. He was a winner locally earlier in the month, 2 weeks ago, over the 1,600 in a handicap locally, finishing third, or excuse me, not winner, finishing third that day, 1.5 lengths that day, where he's with him early on. He just couldn't get there late, but he sat off a strong pace. Another horse going around 2 turns should really suit him well. He's by Improbable. Improbable horses love getting the mile trip. He ran 2 back at Jebel Ali over the 1,200 meters, where he won that day quite nicely by a length. And again, from a tracking trip, he really flew home clear. Coming around 2 turns, drawn very well again, also from the 4 barrier. I'm going to definitely use this horse on the ticket. He's a live horse in the spot. But to recap my selections for the second race from Meydan, it is the Albastika. Going to take the 15-horse Royal Flavor. Give kudos to the 5-horse Galactic Star. 15-5-6 TriCash Trifecta. 15-5 in the multi-race. Let's head over to race number 4 now for Meydan, which is co-featured on the program. It is the Group 3 UAE Oaks. It's going for a purse of $218,000. We have a field of 8 horses going 1,900 meters or mile 3/16 on the dirt course. As a top selection here, we're going to go take the 8-horse Tashween as a top selection. 814 in the TriCash trifecta for me. 814 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 8-horse Tashween. This 3-year-old filly by Mendelssohn. Connor Beasley gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently in a conditions race over the 1,600 here in Meydan on the 17th of January, and the horse finished second by a half a length that day, and he sat back early. He really closed up well late. The winner was just a little bit better than him, but he got down the race course well. Another horse still a maiden here today, going to a longer trip, drawn very well from the inside, has some early kick, which is always dangerous on the dirt here at Meydan. I'm going to expect him to run a good race here today. He ran 2 back at Meydan in a conditions race over the 1,400 or the 7 furlongs on dirt, where he finished third by 10 lengths that day. And again, he got down the race course well. He was with him early on. The winners in front of him just, had the jump on him. But he needed the race for the experience there. And then right before Christmas right before in mid-November, it's here Meydan, 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs in a main race. He finished fifth that day by 20 lengths, and he just completely hit the wall. He didn't get out the gate so clearly, and he was just very lackadaisical. First start ever. This horse desperately needed the race. Has definitely improved a lot since then. Coming here, drawn very well, has a early kick. I think this horse could win. The horse to beat is the 1-horse Argatu Yazamazu. I hope I said that right. This trio filly by Honest Mischief. Bernardo Pinero gets the mount. He ran most recently in the conditions to trial for this one, or in the local 1,000 guineas, where he finished third by 8.5 lengths that day, and he was with them early on, setting some wicked fast fractions. He just yielded off of those fractions. He just they have to slow it down again. Wicked fast fractions in the Guineas trial here back in early January, where again he just kind of was just a little bit too fast there. If he could slow it down around 2 turns, he could win. He's bred to go it. I'm going to give this horse on the a shot on the ticket, but I do think Tashaween is your likeliest winner. But it's a good Oaks here. But to recount my selection for the fourth now for Meydan, it is the Group 2, or it's going to be Group 3. UAE Oaks going to take the 8 horse Tashaween. Give kudos to the 1 horse Ira to Gazamazo, pardon me, 814 Tricast Trifecta, 8-1 in the multi race. Let's get to the co-featured, or actually the featured 5th race now for Meydan, which is the Group 2 Balanchine Stakes. It's Group 2 event going for a purse of $232,000. We have a field of 5 fillies and mares going the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or a mile and 1/8 on the Meydan turf course. My top selection here in the Balanchine, I'm going to go with the number 2 horse, Choicia. I'm going to go 215 in the Tricast Trifecta. 215 Tricast Trifecta, top selection 2 horse, Choicia. This 5-year-old mare by Night of Thunder, 7-night Christopher trains. Miguel Barcelona comes in to ride this horse. Most recently, on the 17th of January, the horse ran locally over the 1600 and over the 1600 in the local Group 2, where he won that day by 5.5 lengths that day. And basically, he won from an easy tracking trip. He quickened up nicely over it, and he took off clear. Even with Miguel Barcelona losing the stick that day in the lane, it was a very good local run. Refreshing here back to Meydan. Of a little bit longer trip. He has a good Godolphin, to his inside, drawing well, and who's the horse to beat? I think this horse get the jump on her late. Ran 2 back at Doncaster in the St. Ledger meeting on quite soft ground, 1,400 meters in a local Group 3, where the horse finished 5th that day by 5.5 lengths that day, and he just never really got going from a tracking trip, just kind of yielded out of it. I don't think this horse liked the soft ground there, and then prior to that, on quite good ground at Sandown right before right in late August, 1,600 meters in the Group 3, she finished 8th by 9 lengths that day, and again, just was never into it, weakened out of it. It wasn't her day to win. She ran terrifically, though, in a listed race at Enoch back in mid-August of the 1,600, winning by a couple lengths that day. He basically won on the front and quickened up nicely. That was a very good run. Likes a lightning quick turf course, is going to get it today, has some forwardly kick. I think this horse could win. I think the 1 horse Cinderella's Dream for Charlie Alpe, Godolphin, and Willie Buke can win also. This horse is running basically here stage side last year. Was running half batch. Ran the Bears Cup Filly Mare Turf over the mile 3/8 at Del Mar most recently in November, where she had a very good second place finish by a half length. Moria just had the jump on this horse, but this horse, she got down the race course well. Not a big race in defeat. Prior to that, Saratoga over the 1900, or the mile 3/16 in the Saratoga Oaks, she won by half a length that day. And again, from a good tracking trip, she really came home clear late. And then prior to that, in the Belmont Derby at Belmont Oaks at Aqueduct over the mile 3/16 on the outer, again winning by 3/4 length. She found a good tracking trip to win. Her races stateside last year, she just kept getting better and better. She's back to the 1,800. She's in a lesser quality spot. I know she's going to be a sharp price. She's another very likely winner. To keep an eye on her in the Balanchine. But to recap my selection now for the 5th race, it is the Group 2 Balanchine Stakes from Meydan. We're going to take the 2 horse choice here. I give kudos to the 1 horse Cinderella's Dream. 215 Tricast Trifecta, 2-1 in the multi race. Let's head over to the 7th race now for Meydan, which is the co-feature on the program. It's the Group 3 Nad Al Sheba Trophy. It's a Group 3 event going for a purse of $191,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 6 horses are staying the distance of ground of 2,800 meters, or mile 3/4 staying in the Nad Al Sheba Trophy, named after the old race course here in Dubai. Nad Al Sheba. Had very good memories watching those races as a kid. But a local prep race, I think, for the is it the Dubai Gold Cup, probably in a few weeks' time. But my top selection here, I'm going to go with the 4 horse King of Conquest. We're going to go 4-3-6 in the Tricast Trifecta. 4-3-6 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection, the 4 horse King of Conquest, 6-year-old Gillen by Lupe de Vega. When I think Lupe de Vega, I don't think of a horse staying a mile three quarters, but this horse has proven he can do it. Trial out beat Transfix Alvin, William Buick gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently in a local Group 3 here at Meydan over the mile three quarters, and he finished second that day by half a length. And he really, sat back early. He just missed late. He was with them, in the final stage of the race. The winner, Kifa, just had the jump on this horse, but he got down the race course well. He's making his third start of the season here today, back to a longer trip. I think he could find a trip to win. He ran in a conditions race here on the 3rd January locally over the mile three quarters, where he finished second by three quarters in length again that day, where he sat back early, got his way into the race. Epic Poet just had the jump on him, but again, not a bad race in the feet, just close but no cigar. And then he ran at Holper Garden in Germany prior to that in mid-August in the local Group 1. Over the mile and a half, he finished 7 by 13 and a half lengths that day. He just did not show a lot that day. I just thought they were assessing a little bit too much too soon there. But he ran over the 2,400 meters or a mile and a half at Newmarket in a listed race back in June, where he won that day by 2.5 lengths. And again, he sat back early. He moved his way into the race, and he kept going. If off of that run, he's proven they could stay with this horse forever. I'm surprised, refreshing here today. If they try something like the Belmont Derby or the Belmont Gold Cup at Saratoga later this summer. I know Charlie Appleby had a string of horses here stateside. It's the kind of horse that it looks like he'd do wonders there. But his races this season haven't been half bad. He likes the flighting fast ground. He's going to get it today. And watch out for him. I think the three-horse Kifa for Ray Dawson could win also. He ran most recently in the local Group 3 on the 24th of January, where he actually finished in front of King of Conquest, winning that day by a half a length. He basically won from a tracking trip. He had to be grinded out to the wire. King of Conquest was grinding down his throat, but he got there late. It was a very good, gritty performance. He ran here locally on the 3rd of January with the mile three quarters, where he finished third that day. And again, he just really couldn't get there late. He was just a little lackadaisical, but he went over the 2,400 meters right before Christmas locally, and that was a very impressive victor, winning by a half a length. Again, from a tracking trip, he really got the job going away. Refreshing nicely here, back to a longer trip. If this horse get upset, I think it could be him. Let's use him in the multi-race. But to recap my selection now for the co-featured 7th race made on, it's the Group 3 Nad Al Sheba Trophy. You're going to take the 4-horse King Conquest. Give kudos to the 3-horse Keith Fuff. 436 Tri-Cash Trifecta, 4-3 in the multi-race. So good luck to him. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.